but you guys in the back, you can hear me well. Can you? You can, okay. There are more seats in the front. There's also, we also have a reserve the room on the west end of the building on the same floor if we have a normal seat here. Welcome back. I'm really delighted to see you. Also feels somewhat different. Number one, a year ago when we were having this meeting, I look around, I could recognize a few, not too much more than a few. I'm really delighted to see that, when I look around, I recognize most of you. So welcome back. I'm really delighted to see you again. Somehow we have done well, at least in either selecting the time or negotiating the weather. It's no longer 100 or upper 90s. It's only lower 90s. It's still a little humid, but you feel a lot more comfortable now. So that's another good sign for our college, I guess. And that means we are probably not only having good weather, but we're doing well. We have several student, faculty, staff leaders here. I would like them to come forward to briefly report to you before I give you the State of College report. One thing that is logistic arrangement is after the meeting, remember that you should pick up our college t-shirt at this end or this end before we head over to Endeavor. What is that room called? Test arena. That's this big, high ceiling, glass wall building. We will have a picture taken with our college shirt on. And part of the reward for attending this class is you get a t-shirt. And part of the requirement of getting a t-shirt is we are going to have a picture together, okay? So afterwards, we are going to have a lunch together on the first floor of ATRC, the Student Excellence Center, and then we can socialize that, okay? We will have a time after the state of the college for question and answers. Those in the, I know they can hear me, they probably cannot talk. Those in the west end of this building, if you have questions, run over. We'll have the time for you to come over by the end of the meeting. Okay, with that, I'm going to ask our student council leader, Reagan, to come forward. Thank you.
I was told to use a mic, but the mic is, there you go. Oh, maybe? Yes. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Reagan Tollefson. I am this year's Student Council President. I am a junior in chemical engineering, and thank you. I am a junior in chemical engineering this semester, and I'm so excited to be talking to you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to more about our council. So our roles and responsibilities as a student council, we serve as the representative body for SEAT. This just means that we make sure that all of our student needs are heard, and we make sure that we have a good idea of the needs of our student body. We also organize various events throughout the semester. So those might look like homecoming events that you've seen, or retreats for our council. We do organize several events through our committees, and I will talk about our committees momentarily. We also relay student concerns to faculty and staff. So I have my monthly meeting with the dean, and I really appreciate him for taking that time to sit down with me and talk through things that students have brought up to me during meetings or throughout the semester. And I know that we all appreciate your contributions to the student body. We also provide funding for SEAT student organizations. So any organization that has a certain number of SEAT students and is mostly a SEAT organization does qualify for our funding. They do have to have a representative within our council that meets certain requirements, and that allows them to receive funding for their different events and different parts of the semester that they receive funding for. We also provide scholarships for SEAT students. So some of you may have heard about the St. Patrick's Day Scholarship that we give out at the end of the year. and we do provide that to seniors who are graduating. So I'm really excited about our exec team this year. They're really going to do a great job. Many of them are close friends of mine, and I know we're going to be a great team. So I'm your president this year. Landry Noydell will be the VP of Committees. Chelsea Porcher will be our VP of Finance. Our VP of Communications will be Sheridan Scherer. Our VP of Relations will be Julia Osborne. Aubrey Logan will be our VP of Publications. Annie Grace Earlbeck will be our CFC coordinator. Connor Messinger will be our other CFC coordinator. And finally, Mara Intrican will be our secretary. I hope that there are some familiar faces up here, and I know that these students are all great leaders in your classes as well. We also have our leadership team, so this includes our committee heads and some of our coordinators that work throughout the semester on some of our projects within the council. So Andreas and Emmanuel will be our Chief Lunch Committee heads. Isaiah Penny will be our Philanthropy Committee head. Olivia Yoder, our K-12 Committee head. Jordan Hackler, Special Projects Committee head. Emma Hernandez will be our Spirit Committee head. Samuel Hiltz will be our Policy Committee head. Blake Miller will be our new member coordinator, so he's hard at work right now to get us more members in the council. And Abigail McCrary will be our Club Rep coordinator. So you've just heard me mention several committees, and that is a big part of what Seat Student Council does, is works through committees to ensure that the student body needs are met and that students are getting involved. Our first committee is the Cheap Lunch Committee. I know that many of you have seen Cheap Lunch on Thursdays. We do have it every Thursday in the ATRC, and students are given the opportunity to have affordable meal pricing. So we have often Papa John's or our Cane's option, and you'll see things like the chicken strips are $1 each, and you also get a drink, a side, and a cookie, all wrapped up in that deal. And the reason we can do that is our generous company sponsors. So we do have some amazing companies that are willing to come and sponsor our events. They also get the opportunity to network with students. So they will come to the event and stand and talk with students while they are able to pick up their lunches. Some ways you can help with our Cheap Lunch Committee. First is to inform your students about this opportunity, especially if you have freshman classes. I know that many freshmen are unaware of this opportunity, and this gives them the great chance to come and continue to form a community with people in seat. If you are aware of someone who would like to sponsor Cheap Lunch, a company or an organization that you think would be interested in investing in our students, please let us know. You can email us anytime at cheaplunch@okstate.edu, and our coordinators will get right back to you. Our Philanthropy Committee is exactly what it sounds like. We have outreach to the community and ensure that our students are involved in serving our Stillwater community. So our community events often include our blood drive. Some of you may have seen the blood drive going on in the ATRC. I know it's always a fun day, lots of fainting, lots of students getting their blood taken. I stay far away from that event, in case anybody's wondering. That is not my cup of tea. We also have our canned food drive, our Pie in the Face event. We do appreciate all of you who watch our Pie in the Face event and those of you who have participated. I know it is always fun for students to go out there and watch their professors get pied in the face. I know that that's a great experience, and we appreciate you guys for doing that. We also have our Angel Tree. That's where we give gifts to children during Christmas time, and our Into the Streets event, which is our campus-wide event that many organizations participate in, and we are proud to bring a group. So some of how you can help with this: please communicate the importance of community service to your students as not just a resume item, but also as something that helps them build the community and be a part of something larger than themselves. I know I've had some excellent professors who really conveyed this point to me. In addition, watch for volunteer opportunities to share with students. Sometimes the reason students aren't volunteering in the community is because they don't know about the opportunities. So if you see an opportunity come up, please share it with your students. Our K-12 committee is our community outreach for STEM education. So we love to go to schools and talk with kids about STEM. We have Q&A panels for surrounding schools in the Stillwater area, and we also have STEM deliveries for local schools where we deliver activities to those schools. Some of how you can help by sharing ideas for school engineering projects. I know that many organizations go to schools and don't have many ideas for what we could do in a short span of time that's approachable for kids to understand, and I know professors often have experience in that and might have some good ideas for what we can do with that. And you can also share teacher contacts from surrounding schools. I know that many of you probably have children in the Stillwater Bridgewater public school system. And so if you do, I know that I would really appreciate if you could share any contacts you might have from teachers who would be interested in seeing demonstrations in their classrooms. Our Special Projects Committee really is kind of a catch-all for things that involve SEAT and reach out to our SEAT students. So first of all, we have SEAT versus Spheres. We're going to win this year. I'm just telling you right now, we're going to win. It's going to happen. And I know this is a favorite event for many students, and I know we always appreciate seeing faculty and staff members there. It means the world to us. We also have E-Week. E-Week is our week that supports engineering students, so that lets us reach out to our engineering class and work to better improve their morale, especially later in the semester. We also have our Feminine Product Drive, which shocks both the ATRC and Endeavor. And we have our Wellness Week, which helps students to focus on their wellness and continue to use that to contribute to their studies. Some of how you can help is interacting with students at our events, especially those SEAT versus Spheres events. I know having our faculty and staff there kind of gives us a little bit more encouragement to win against the business school. We also would love if you could promote our events when you see them go through. It's really important that students get to come to these events that are designed specifically for SEAT students. The Spirit Committee is all things Go OSU, Go Pokes. It is our homecoming and our coordination of our SEAT Week. So if you see, for instance, our library lawn sign or our Carve Festival, if we win any of those, that's due to the Spirit Committee. We also have trivia night that we put on every year. And how you can help with this is attending events, especially our homecoming week events and festivals, because homecoming means a lot to the students. And I know that everyone loves to see faculty and staff at our events, especially if you're judging the events and happen to vote SEAT as the best, right? Our Relations Committee is responsible for outreach within our council and the SEAT student body. So that looks like we have a SEAT organization fair. This will be the first week of classes. This is a big one for us that's coming up. If you happen to see the flyer, please share it with your students. It will be all kinds of SEAT organizations, and they will be walking through what they do with students. I know that this is very meaningful to freshmen. I went to this fair my freshman year, and it meant a lot to me to learn more about getting involved. We also do our SEAT Stuco Banquets, which is within our council, an outreach opportunity and community building. We also have the Senior Social, which happens the night before career fair and gives us the opportunity to network between senior students and recruiters before the career fair. And please encourage students to attend the organization fair. I know that's very important to freshmen. It's one of the first chances to get involved, and getting involved at the very beginning of the semester is the best thing you can possibly do. The SEAT Freshman Council is a group specifically designed for freshmen who are interested in our student council and who are interested in being a part of the larger general council body. They have the opportunity to have their own meetings, and they also go to our general meetings, but they get that extra time to bond with their class and really grow as SEAT students and in their involvement in the community. We have E-Day every year, which is planned by our CFC. I coordinated this my freshman year, and I know it was a great opportunity to learn more about communication with multiple parties and organization. The E-Day is for our prospective students, so we put on a day for high school students who are interested in SEAT. They get to come, have information sessions, and even do some activities. We also have our SEAT homecoming sign, so if you do see that sign, the Spirit Committee works with the CFC group to make that homecoming sign, and I'm sure it's going to be great this year. Make sure to tell a freshman that you really love it when you see it. And we also have our volunteer events, which are usually, in the past we've done our daily bread, and that's an opportunity for those freshmen to get together as a class and get to volunteer and serve their community. The main way you can help with this is please encourage freshmen to join CFC. Applications are already open. I know that they will be emailed out to all freshman students. They will be posted on our social media, and yet there's always someone who hasn't seen it. So if you are interested in having that flyer and sending it to your students, please let us know. I'll give you our email at the end of this presentation, seatstuco@okstate.edu. If you would like the flyer, please email us and we will send it to you to ensure that that is sent out to as many students as possible. And the thing we've all been waiting for, career fair. I know career fair is everybody's favorite part of the fall semester, and I'd like to introduce you to our career fair coordinators. So first we have Xander Rowick. Xander actually coordinated for us last year, and he did an excellent excellent job, really excellent. And I know that he's being a great leader to these 2 new coordinators. He's actually our lead coordinator this year. And his quote for the year was that he is excited to be a part of the largest student-run career fair in the nation. They're doing their best to ensure that students are supported with amazing career opportunities and club funding. We also have Joe Black. Joe Black said that the career fair provides incredible opportunities for students to take next steps in their career goals and connect with the industry leaders. He's excited to gain experience from organizing this large-scale event and to build relationships with recruiters himself. And third, we have Jack Farhar, who says that he is most excited to grow his leadership and communication skills. He's also looking forward to developing his problem solving under stressful situations. And there always are stressful situations during career fair. We are excited to work on communicating with people and handle those as best as we possibly can. We're not going to run out of water bottles this year, so we're definitely ready for the career fair. So a little bit more about the career fair. That is on September 23rd, and we are going to have it from 9 to 3:30. I remember the first year I did it, the line was out the door and it started raining on everybody and ruined everybody's hair and business attire and resumes. So I'm really hoping that that does not happen this year. I would say to everyone, bring an umbrella, even if it doesn't look like it's going to rain. It'll be in Gallagher-Iba. As always, we usually fill up Gallagher-Iba, and I'm excited to do so once again. We also would like to recommend that all students go, regardless of graduation year. And this is something that I feel that my professors really convey to me. I had several professors tell me when I was a freshman, go to the career fair. Even if you can't get an internship, it means so much to make those connections early and to have the experience of going to the fair itself, because it is definitely an experience. You don't think it's going to be as crowded as it is or as chaotic as it is until you're there. And so having that experience for freshmen can really give them the opportunity to gain experience for the next year. If you have companies that you think would be interested in coming to our career fair, please let us know. We are always looking to diversify our pool of companies that come to our career fair, and I know that students really appreciate seeing new faces there at the fair. And this is a big request for you guys. We do need 6 faculty or staff members to drive shuttles, especially those with the Precision Driver Training certification. So I think that my coordinators will be sending something out to faculty and staff soon, but I wanted to put that on your radar so you are aware that that is something that we are requesting. We were able to get all 6 last year, and you guys did an excellent job. We really appreciate your help. We're hoping to get 6 people again to drive shuttles, and I know that that is going to really help coordinators and our students. So a little bit of overall how you can help with the council. First, you can help spread the word about involvement in Seat Stuco and other organizations, especially the freshmen. So the other organizations, one of our main functions is representing all organizations within Seat. So we are happy to see involvement anywhere across the college. So please tell your students about as many organizations as you can. Encourage involvement at events. Getting involved can be hard when you first start out, as a freshman especially, but it's something that is well worth students' time. Third, if there are any student needs that you feel are not addressed, please let us know. That is part of our job, is to make sure that students have what they need to succeed, and we would love to help. If you have an idea for how we can better connect with students, please reach out to us. We are always looking for new ideas and ways to be innovative with reaching out to people. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate all of you. If you ever have anything that Seat Student Council could do for you or any ideas, please email us at seatstuco@okstate.edu. I really appreciate your time, and thank you for listening to this presentation.
Regan, thank you for your leadership. You know, students like Reagan are the ones that remind me every day what excellence really means. So our students are not only excellent academically, they are really strong in leadership. So when I work with the student council president, I always get impressed. So it's a little pressure on you. I've worked with the 2 others. They are impressive. I'm sure you're going to I'm pretty sure you're going to be that impressive also. Great job, thank you for your leadership. The next person is our College Faculty Council Chair, Clean.
Okay, good morning. Fortunately, my presentation is super short and to the point. My name is Clint Angel, and I've got slides here. I am the incoming chair. I've had the opportunity to work with Nathan Richardson over the past year in the Faculty Advisory Council and learned everything from Nathan. And his leadership has been exceptional, and he's just done a great job in the past year, so I appreciate that. Basically, it's pretty simple what we do as the SEAT Faculty Advisory Council. You can think of it as a two-way communication conduit. So, okay.
Sorry, we're having issues with microphone.
Better here? Yeah. Yeah, so we meet once a month, and each unit has a representative that comes to the meeting, and that representative shares feedback that they receive from their faculty and their unit. We discuss that. I, as the chair or the co-chair, depending on availability, go attend the executive council meeting and share that feedback. And so we try to, have a kind of a closed loop on communication. So in theory and in practice, it is a really good way to get your feedback as faculty, share it with the college at the executive council, and then also inform your faculty, if you're the representative, about things that are coming down the pipeline. So there's one member from each unit that makes up the council, and if you have the opportunity and you have an interest, then you should share that with your unit head, and you can join us on the council. If you do that, you sign up for 2 terms, each term 3 years. So you've got 2 3-year terms, and with any luck, you'll be able to be the chair as well, just like me. The terms are staggered, so the idea is we don't have everybody rolling off at the same time. Yeah, that gets a little bit weird, especially when we have new units that get formed as we're kind of seeing, and so Nathan has helped us kind of prepare for that. So, but anyway, the point is, the terms are set up so that we've always have a consistent set of members. Yeah, so maybe one of the takeaways from this is that you decide you're interested and maybe your unit has an opening, so you can self-nominate, you can have others nominate you, and you can join us. I think this is a really good kind of system and like a good organization that we've got set up, because we all appreciate communication, and I think this is a really nice way to both you as faculty to receive communication from the college, but also for you as faculty to share your interests, issues, whatever, with the council, and then we can take it forward. So I do think it is a really helpful organization. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'm here to help you and answer any questions you have. So thank you.
Clean, thank you for your leadership. I would concur with Clean to encourage you to participate. If there's a seat in your school, run for the advisory council. I would also share what my philosophy in interacting with the faculty advisory council. I'm a strong believer in shared governance, and I certainly take the advice of the faculty council very seriously. I take advice from you all very seriously, but faculty council is a really good mechanism to provide advice, provide a communication channel. I don't necessarily take all the advice, all the demand that you present, but if I don't take your advice, I owe you explanation. At least that I can guarantee. So if you participate in the council, you come up with something, I say, no, this cannot be done. I cannot just simply ignore it because I don't like it. I will give you a reason. So that I can promise. Next is our University Staff Advisory Council, Sam. Sam, are you here?
He is.
Please come forward.
He's.
Let's see, we're ready for Sam.
There was another one before.
Now you can
Don't be shy, come
Price
forward.
is Right.
Oh, that's fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Here you go.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. There we go. Apologize for that. So, thank you all for having me today. My name is Sam Morse. I am the current chair of the Staff Advisory Council. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about what Staff Advisory Council is, who we are and what we do, and how folks can get involved or let us know how we can support staff across campus. So, Staff Advisory Council is a body of elected members from across campus made up of staff from all departments. We have a total of 27 members with 9 elected each year. They rotate on a 3-year term basis. And our aim is to represent the interests and concerns of our staff across campus. We also want to recognize and celebrate the tremendous accomplishments of our staff members and overall give back to the staff that gives so much to OSU. We are made up of an executive team as well as our general counsel. So currently, we have a total of 4 officers with representation from across student affairs and academic areas. I myself work with the School of Business, but we have had chairs across a variety of areas, including the most recent past chair was Seats Michelle Stewart. So we have had incredible participation across campus and are continuing to try to promote leadership in staff across campus. Now, one of the key things that we do is we have a variety of committees that work specifically for our staff in specific ways. So each of these committees is made up of a variety of staff members that are passionate about this given area. Access and community engagement is all about making sure that staff have access to the resources that they need. This includes things like getting all of our lactation stations on campus on our online map. This includes things like an inclusive resource guide and a caregiver guide to make sure that staff can find these things. That inclusive events guide is something that we are hoping to finish up in this next year so that when it comes to how do I find a ramp for an event that I need to be accessible for somebody who would accept an award, this will have all the steps necessary to make sure that you have what you need to take care of the staff that are going to be present or the individuals at your event. Awards and recognition is all about making sure that staff feel how much they are valued. This includes specific awards that I'm going to talk a little bit about later, as well as scholarships and celebrations to make sure that staff that have gone above and beyond, have had long tenures of service, are rewarded, celebrated, and known. Because there are incredible people on this campus that you haven't heard about, and we want to change that. Our communications committee puts together our monthly newsletter, which I highly recommend you read. It includes everything from resources to updates, things from HR, ongoing events that we want to make sure that staff are aware of. Our events committee does an annual charitable drive each fall and then handles our staff celebration day in the spring, which is an opportunity to celebrate all of our staff across campus. We've been hosting it in the West Watkins Center each May, and we hope to have details for the new one coming up soon. It's really a great opportunity to have a great meal together. We have raffles and prizes. And we really want to make that day about all of our incredible staff and make sure they understand that we see the difference they make in our students' lives and the lives of our campus community as a whole. And then next is our Rules, Policies, and Procedures Committee. RPP is one of our very busy committees because they are reviewing HR policy. They take time every month to look over a variety of things that HR has sent our way and look at it through the lens of staff concerns. What does a language change do? How would this affect our staff's day-to-day? And then they submit potential changes and collaborate with HR to make sure that things are being handled with staff in mind. And then we as a council approve this recommendation. And it's not just things that we're given, we also take staff concerns, put together recommendations, and communicate them to HR to work towards potential policy changes if possible. They also handle benchmarking, comparing things with other universities to make sure that if we are providing a recommendation to the university, there is tangible evidence, somebody with a successful plan that have already achieved it. Because it's just one thing to have an idea, we want to make sure that there's a plan going forward because that'll help serve our staff in the best capacity. Staff Celebration Day is something that I want you to keep in mind. When it is announced and shown off for a date, plan around it. I highly recommend sending staff over, and also we have done pickup orders for staff that cannot make it, especially for like our outreach folks. It is a great opportunity to make sure that staff know that they're cared for, and it is a great opportunity to come over as a group, build that community, meet resources. We bring in vendors from around town that come in with donations to give away. And it's just an exciting day to take a couple hours just for the staff. Highly recommend keeping an eye on that and keeping an eye on the communication on that coming up in the coming semester. The next thing I want to talk about is the Distinguished Service Awards. The Distinguished Service Awards is basically our way of looking at staff that have made a tremendous impact on their community. The way that they do it is we have a nomination process that will be opening up in the next month or so, and we will have letters of recommendation from at least 3 folks. So if you've got somebody in mind, be thinking of other people that could write letters for them. These are going to be people that have made a difference in the lives of our students, have a commitment to service, and have made not only a large impact, but an ongoing impact on the community around them. We go through the entire process, looking at those highlights, and then interview a top set of candidates. And this isn't just an award, we also have a prize pool that is designated in order to make sure that not only are they being celebrated, they're being rewarded for having made such an incredible impact. And they've been across areas, across colleges, and if you think there is somebody that has not been celebrated enough that needs that spotlight, put their name in. Find people to write it. They can be written by students, they can be written by faculty. The nominators do not have to be staff members. I highly recommend making sure that your incredible folks get their flowers. The Star Awards are a more monthly focused thing. These awards are all about the ways that people are excellent day to day. We highlight them in our newsletter and in our monthly meetings once a month. And if you submit one of our awards forms, they go into our pool and we do not take them out. Essentially, our goal is that we are looking at it and we are getting amazing numbers of applications every single month. So if somebody isn't recognized the month you nominate them, that doesn't mean they didn't get it. We are constantly wanting to make sure that these people are receiving recognition for the incredible ways, maybe that it was a big week, a big event during a given month. This is your way to be able to make sure that they get their time in the spotlight. As far as getting involved, there are a few different ways to get involved. We have spring elections. Every kind of March, April, and May is when we start taking nominations, and then actual elections usually in mid to late May. The way that that works is you nominate an individual or yourself, and then we put that pool together. They put together a short explanation of who they are and why they're interested in it, and then you all vote. All eligible staff are able to vote. It's done via slate in order to select that pool. Throughout the year, we will occasionally have folks that leave the institution or need to go on to other things, cannot finish their term. That's when we have vacancy appointments, and we have a list that people can apply to outside of the election cycle if you're interested in serving. We also have a variety of committees that will be communicating about potential nominations that are available for folks outside of SAC. So keep an eye on the newsletter, as that's how we tend to promote those. The key places to learn about us are our website, but you can also always reach out to us via our Staff Advisory Council email. Our rewards page is where you're going to find everything about the DSAs and the Star Awards. You can find the vacancy request form right in our About section. And then every month you can also request our link to attend our general meeting, which is typically the second Wednesday of any given month at 1:15. We are always having in guests, so it is a great opportunity to see what sort of information we're bringing back to our staff. Thank you all for having me. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Sam, for your leadership. Indeed, wherever possible, I would strongly encourage you to nominate our own staff colleagues for all this recognition. Worse, when they do a fantastic job, they deserve to be recognized. Now we are turning into the state of the college. How many of you remember last year the message I was trying to communicate to you on the front page? Yeah. Thank you.
I remember up there.
But really, last year I was trying to say we had a very solid foundation. We were going to go from great to greater, and indeed, we together have done that. So I'm going to report back to you. So whether that success, I think you all deserve a round of applause for yourself. Thank you. In mind, this year you can see the message is tuned down a little bit. The message is to keep the momentum and press it forward through the headwind. And you will see where that momentum is. That's the success I was talking about. You will also have a little sense what a little headwind or praise or something else. I wanted to be very open to you what we face. Not only success, but challenges. Whether that frank communication, we can really press forward together, but even against the headwind. I wanted to say the presentation, the work, all are really the teamwork, the result of the teamwork. The success is the success of all of us as a team. But also in this presentation, I wanted to recognize the team seat, in particular the leadership team at the college, the associate deans, the school head, including the executive director of finance. Would you please stand up and be recognized? Yeah, that includes you. This team is phenomenal. I really have enjoyed working with them. The success belongs to offers, but the team here really works well. I also wanted to take a moment to recognize our staff team that helped me organize this presentation, in particular Valerie, Amanda, and also our marketing communication team. Would you please stand up? Thank you. Learning how to organize this presentation better. It looks like Paul had a different way of doing this. So last year and this year, we were really kind of running around and working really hard, so the team really helped make this possible. Thank you. Now, coming to the outline. If you look at this, you probably figure I don't need to talk anymore. Really, from my perspective, the success, the momentum really comes from the people. You have heard three people or three persons representing all the people I'm going to talk about, our students, our faculty, our staff. And indeed, so in this presentation, this report, I'm going to start with the people that's our students, that's our faculty. Of course, there need to be organizational support, and that's what we do here. And working with all the people, with the foundational support, we have our institutional success. And that's what I'm going to report to you in terms of success of the past year, the momentum we have built up over the past year. I'm also going to spend a few slides to share with you what I see as we look forward, and that is we need to press forward through the headwind. We'll talk a little bit about what the headwind really means. So let's just start with the students. I tried to use only 10 years, and that's starting from 2016 to now, it will be about 10 years. But I included 4 extra years with a bit of shade, so you can see the pattern also of our enrollment. But if you look from fall 16 to now, our enrollment has been going down for quite a few, had been going down until from 23 to 24, it picked up. And this year, it continued to go up a little bit. But we are still not back to the enrollment in fall 2016 level. We're still off by about 500. We have room to grow, and that means many things to us. There's a pressure for us to do that. There's also indication there's a space. There's also indication there's a capacity out there. When our faculty size has not gone down, actually it has gone up, our space, we probably get more space. So we have a capacity, we have a potential, but there's also a little pressure. And when you look at the, once we take those many students in, we look at our success, there's a little revision to the data. There was a change in terms pre-seed. So we used to have a pre-seed separate in the university, so our retention rate would look a little higher. Now all the data in the university database makes the assumption that pre-seed is a part of a seed, no more pre-seed, okay? So whether that, you will see our retention rate going down a little bit. I also want to clarify the terminology. Sometimes people use retention, persistence to mean different things. I'm going to stick to one word, but I will specify what it means. So like this past year, the student coming in for 2023, 2023, this is a college performance. And this is solid orange bar indicate those students that came into a program in our college and stayed in that same programs. And that is about 60-some%, okay? Then you have the other portion, 10% also, that started in one program in seed, but then transferred to other program within seed. They started in seed, they stayed in seed. So that's kind of second retention rate. There's a third group that started in seed, that's about probably 15%. They started in seed, they did not stay in seed, however they stayed at OSU. So we have a larger portion of our students that started in our college but end up in other colleges at OSU. And that also contributes to our nominal retention rate, okay? So we are doing more studies as to what happens, why those students move to other colleges. Maybe there's because our program are challenging, maybe, but we wanted to find out, can we do more? We're also looking at the way that students are advised, or looking at the admission standard. We're trying to understand better. The data are not publicly available yet. By September, they will be. So our state of college meeting or report time is a little bit ahead of our university's deadline of getting the enrollment data, getting retention rate. So in the future, we may look for ways to have our meeting, faculty staff meeting, or state of college report done a month later, so we will have all the information. Anyhow, consistently, you look over all the 10 years, our college is doing better than the university does overall. So that's really to the credit of your hard work, your dedication. Thank you. This year, we don't have all the data. Preliminary data doesn't really tell us all the breakdowns, whether they stayed in the province, stayed in the college, or stayed in the university. We already know they came back. So the lump sum here is shown at this point. You may go up a little bit, but not too much. What you see is there's a substantial drop. And that could be due to the devising, could be due to the admission standard, lower, possibly lower GPA. It could be due to other factors. We're going to find out. But overall, we do pretty well. So nationally, if you look at all the majors in universities, it's about 77. And you look at the engineering, it's about 87%. So we are in that range in terms of retention. So that's according to National Student Clearinghouse Research Center data. The next thing, of course, is their completion. One thing is it's a 4-year completion, another thing is a 6-year completion. Again, we don't have the data for this year, just calculate, we don't have any of the data available. By September 9th, we should be able to access the data. But looking at last year, what I added here is the reference point. This is a little older data. I have not been able to find it more updated. But according to ASE, American Society for Engineering Education, the 4-year graduation is on the order of 30-something national average, and the 6 years about 59. And in terms of 4 years, we're doing way better. Particularly when you take into account like our architecture program, which is not really 4 years program. Even for the other engineering program, nominally it's a 4-year. We know it's challenging to complete work in 4 years. So we're doing pretty well in that regard. We certainly have a room to do better. Data will come up for this year in about a month. And if I don't get a chance to share with you this semester in spring meeting, I will update you. But in the future, we will reschedule the State of College report, so hopefully we will have data available from the university before the meeting. Now, whether that's just tangible number, what really kind of gets us going, what really shows the excellence of our students are their accomplishments. I know our students are not here this time, but in spring, I think many of them can join us. They're still on campus. But I want to share with you. So you look at the student success here, we have Allen Scholars who are really top, the best of the best. I happen to travel with Allen Scholars to Cambridge University. They are really the best of the best. So we have those 2 Allen Scholars and 1 Allen Boys and Girls Club scholar. They are fantastic, and we're really proud they're here. And also our outstanding seniors, and we got 4 here. I would also add a message: please help us nominate our students for the outstanding seniors. And it is a work. But particularly the faculty advisors, the students well. Nominate them. When I sit on the selection committee or the review committee, it pains me when I don't see that many nominations, particularly since I know how wonderful or how excellent our students are. Please help us nominate them. There are also the seniors of significance, kind of at the first level. You can think this is a semi-finalist and a finalist, or winner, probably. We also have students that are in the top 20 freshman category. The one where the stars are among the top 10. Also, 3 of them are in the top 10 freshmen. So we really have a wonderful student coming into our freshman class. There are also recognitions to students from various for research and from society. So shown here are the students receiving the Nicolak Research Scholarship and also the Phoenix Award together with the Wentz Research Scholars or Scholarship Awards. Okay, these are also the students that receive external awards, or society awards rather. So you have Tau Beta Pi, you have several others. And our students are really just very successful in every way you cut. And when I look at those students, I'm certainly just proud. I assume you feel the same way. So transitioning from our students to the faculty, we are holding the applause to them to spring when they show up. If you applaud now, they probably look here. So transitioning from student to faculty, on the left, what you see is the head count. So you can see, let's see, from fall 17, the number has been going up. If you look at the solid bar, that's the faculty, and that has been going up. In recent years, it fluctuated or stay steady a little. The staff number, particularly in the college proper, not extension, supporting academic programs, that also has been going up. And if you correlate this, whether the student enrollment, you would know. In theory, if we had a capacity in 16, 17, we now have extra capacity at least. What you see on the right is the distribution of a faculty in terms of percentage in academic schools. And I want you to remember that number as much as possible. And when I look at the research, when I look at the education that faculty are doing, and I'm going to compare their contribution in tangible way in comparison to the manpower, the faculty size. Okay, so if you look, one thing that we do, again, please know I do recognize that what can be counted often does not count, but nevertheless, we have a tangible deliverables, right? So not only we are working on scholarship, education, research, but we also have a business to run. There is a business component. So in that regard, in terms of education, a good measure of how much we are doing, not necessarily how great we're doing, how good we're doing, but how much we're doing, is the student credit hours. So over the years, the student credit hours we deliver every year has been going down until fiscal year 2024. We made a little trend going from the academic year to fiscal year. It's not 100% accurate because there's some counting over summer, but by and large, this is accurate. The good news is this past year, our student credit hour went up substantially. Okay, that means you have done a lot more work. That also means financially we are on more solid footing. And I will come to the financial piece later on, and this puts us in a stronger position. You look at how the department is doing. Look at MAE. They have a 24% of faculty. They contribute about 25% the SCH. MSE has 4% of the faculty. I use the older structure because when this was happening, we were having the engineering technology division, which was science and engineering. So you can look at the chart, you can see how well each school, each unit contributes in terms of teaching, in this case, SCH, right? Of course, we don't do just teaching, we also have research scholarship. And you look at research, a major indicator or major performance indicator is research expenditure over the years. It has moved up. And this includes only the research that comes in as a contract, as a grants. It excludes the research dollar that came into the university, to the college through foundation. So those that count as a gift is not included. That's probably $500,000, $2 million a year. It does include contribution from our BAE, School for BAE. So you look at this year, we reached about $36, $37 million. You look within the college core or proper, MAE contributed substantially more in terms of research expenditure, 47% versus just 24% of the faculty. I should mention extension contribute piece to that research expenditure, while our architecture by and large does not. So in essence, extension kind of replaced the architecture in this pie chart. There's also the other two measures, that's annual research award and also the proposals. The slide will be on display after the meeting. You can look at the details. The bottom line is we do have faculty and staff in different schools contribute in different ways. I will never push for everyone to contribute everything equally. I would rather push that we maximize everyone's potential. If you're strong in research, we wanted to support you to maximize the potential in research. If you're strong in delivering education, we wanted to support you to maximize your potential in education also. So there's no pressure for everyone to deliver everything in the same percentage, the same way. As a college, we can succeed if we manage to maximize everyone's potential. Now, coming to, so from the education to research, then it's the extension that is the effort our faculty staff have put in. So we come to extension, one major area is the K-12 STEM. They have done many things, and particularly with the DoD support that Powell led, and together with the other supports, our team in the college, in the extension, has reached out to all the 77 counties. There are many success I could mention. Two major indicators are that they have really reached out to 1,600 students and 70 teachers, and that hopefully help improve our education. We all understand that Oklahoma State has always been at the bottom quartile in the nation when it comes to STEM education. This year I heard we moved from 46 to 50. That's not yet in a positive direction. It is going from 46 to 50 and up by 4, but that's really negative. So we contribute, particularly our extension faculty staff. Another thing is, through extension, we have been very successful in terms of partnership. And one example is this, the creation of a Gary Radley Training Center, and that's a rendered picture. The groundbreaking took place about a month ago or two. That is $10 million investment and more than 50 years of partnership. It didn't happen today, didn't happen yesterday, it happened over a long time. So you all have contributed throughout the years. Our Center for Transportation and Construction Workforce was created over the past year. And this also represents a stronger faculty participation. Dan Cook became the co-director as a faculty member. Remember, I've been trying to encourage our faculty to participate more in extension effort. We're working on the workload policy, take a long time to revise workload policy. The idea is to recognize our faculty's effort in extension. We need to have ways to recognize not only the workload, but also their contribution in the tenure promotion process. And that is a challenging piece. John's been working with our College of Agriculture to learn how they do that, so we can recognize our faculty's effort in extension and recognize their success in tenure promotion. Our new product development center continued to really reach out. In the Inventors program, they have supported more than 200 clients. The Center for Local Government Technology taught people how to use computers, and they reach out to 1,500 plus people and to teach them how you can work with the new technology. The next thing is probably what we are really, not only we do well, we are fairly uniquely excellent in the country. That's about our fire department. Anything about fire safety engineering technology, fire emergency management, fire service training. what you look at on the picture here is the opening of our new fire service training burn house, correct? Burn house. So our fire program, everything around the fire are really hot. I can really tell you when we go out, people recognize. And just 2 weeks ago, when Chuck Bunting and also associated research from Art and Science, we visited Los Alamos to explore partnership. And fire program stood out. They realized, yes, if you wanted to partner with the university, and you have it, right? So our International Fire Service Accreditation Congress continue to expand their effort, their outreach, their impact. They accredit in several new countries, India and several others. The fire protection publication, they offered more than 6,000 courses. This is not the only thing they do. I'm just picking one highlight for each. Our fire service training expanded their levels of accreditation from just 12 to 25. And with that new building, you can see all the orange showing in that building, how excited they are. I was certainly impressed. Okay, those are the successes. I wanted to take a moment. I know I tried, I practiced, I couldn't really go over all the accomplishment of faculty. So what I'm going to do is going to leave the slide to be on display during lunchtime and after so we can read more detail. But let me tell you what I'm trying to do. I like to take the faculty staff who have received external recognition, the national, international level. This can be a little difficult to define. But generally, I'm looking at faculty who are National Academy member, foreign National Academy member, society fellows, society awardees, society leadership like president, vice president, board of trustees, board of directors, leading editors. Part of the reason is I really wanted to encourage you all to go out, get more recognized. We are here to support, and John is leading a committee to nominate you. Let us know. This, on one hand, means we recognize you. You deserve to be recognized. You do great work. Another thing is, not only you are getting recognized, because when you get recognized, our college get recognized. Our national recognition goes up, our national standing goes up. So what I want to recognize is faculty staff who have received those recognitions externally in society, essentially. But also I want you to encourage all of us to do more. If you think you stand a chance for any such recognition, bring it to our attention, bring it to John's attention. We will help you organize the nomination. So what I'm going to do is to just call your name. If you could stand up and remain standing until I go over the 3 slides for the first group, and then we recognize you, then you can sit down, okay? I'm not going to rate your accomplishment because that would probably get our lunch, what you call it. So let me turn around. If you're here, or if you're in the west end of the building, please stand up. We have a monitor even in the other room. No, we don't. Chuck Bunting, Virginia Charter, Mary Chen, Norb Gilade, Brian Albee, Dan Fisher, Racine Guadican, Sundaresh Harigu, Brian Hosking, Craig Hannon, Srinivas Kola, Tyler Lay, Don Luca, Rachel Mosier, Ali Murchie. Please stand up when your name is called. Sarah Sotino, Da-Ching Kiao, John Phillips, Nathan Richardson, Caroline Ray, Kurt Lauser, Bruce Russell, Jeff Settler, Khalid Salam, Raj Singh, Jeff Spittler, Leslie Rex, Paul Tchaikovsky, Hugo Toledo, Shuodao Wang, Paul Weckler, Jeffrey White, Greg Welber, Mike Xiang, Heather Yes, Gary Yin, Sujin Yun, Tara Youngblood, Jeffrey Young, Willie Zhang, Wei Zhao. Congratulations. Those in the West End, congratulations also. So those are in the first group, that's essentially recognition from societies. And know that we are really proud of you, and college benefit also from your recognition. There are also our faculty staff who receive recognition for their contribution, for their accomplishment in the university, in the region, in other ways also. So we want to recognize them as well. I'll do the same, call your name. I'm going to go over this quickly, not just like you, but I want you to get your lunch in coming. Okay? Sarah Ayers, Christian Bach, Bailey Brown, Annie Buffalo, Laurie Harrell, Chen Chen, Mari Chen, Jennifer Clausing, Dan Cook, Christy Cooper, Brandy DeVos, Brian Elby, Laura Emerson, George Jorge Estrella, Yifang, Jennifer Galeen, Craig Hannon, John Hu, Crystal Jenkins, Brian Hoskins, Srinivas Kola, Chris Marzik. I got it right, I'm really proud. Jennifer Lane, Del Lee, Josh Lee, Don Luca, Sarah Martino, Tony Mike Levy, Christina McCoy, Kevin Moore, John O'Hare, Christine Queen, Valerie Curry, Caroline Reid, Nathan Richardson, Bruce Russell, Jeff Settler, Raj Singh, J.W. Snell, Mike Sturzenbecker, Hugo Toledo, Heather Yes, Harry Youngblood, Jay Yong. Please. Thank you for what you do. And that's something you see about it twice. That's because the recognition in two different categories. Know that I'm really proud of you. I'm also grateful for what you have accomplished. Your accomplishment, your recognition also elevate the college. So thank you. Now come to our term. That is, we have all the wonderful people doing the great work. The question is, can we do something here to support you to do better? This is no longer recognition. I don't know whether the word recognition is good. This is really the organizational support piece. So the word recognition should be organizational support, not recognition for ourselves. So I wanted to mention a few things. You probably are aware. Most of those are not spectacular, but I want you to be aware behind the scene, our team, that is the leadership team, the staff team, we're trying to improve, trying to make this a conducive environment. When you have a pain, through the faculty council, through the staff council, through your school head, through various mechanisms, bring to our attention, and we address those as much as possible. Take, for example, our graduate student GPA GRAs pay fees. Well, we waive their tuition when they're GPA GRAs, but fees are pretty high. And I heard you, and we took it a step. We waived 35% of fees. So now their net compensation is above the average in comparison with our peer institutions. That's like Kansas State, Texas Tech, UNT, OU, and so on. So we can tell our GRAs that we pay them better than in average than the peers. We do other things. We try to have faculty, staff nominated more for the awards. In order to do that, we figured out a way to work around the state law, so we could reimburse your professional society membership. Oklahoma State is the only one that I know of that forbid the use of public fund for society membership reimbursement. Fortunately, we have very supportive alumni friends, so we have a foundation account that we can use, and we're using that to support your professional society membership. And there's no longer excuse that you cannot be active in the society. So let's see larger number of fellows, awardees, presidents, vice presidents, board of trustees, board of directors, leading editors in the society come to you. We are trying to work on the faculty mentoring, faculty proactive recruiting. You have heard me talking about those research revitalization. We launched the Dean's Professorship Program because even so we have a larger number in endowed professorship, endowed chairs, and when we have emerging young stars coming up or when we recruit, we don't have enough endowed professorship, endowed chairs. So we create the Dean's Professorship as kind of a placeholder before we have all the new chairs. And that way we can recognize our star faculty. We started our C3, the Collaborative Circle, to promote interdisciplinary, inter-school, or even inter-college collaborations. And we have 2 lecture series, just to refresh your mind, that's a distinguished lecture series to bring in Nobel Prize winner, National Academy members. And the Leaders lecture series, that's to bring in deans, school heads, to learn what we have accomplished. We also started a program to encourage our faculty to come to the commencement. And if you promise you're going to come to the commencement, and we means the college and school together, we will pay for your regatta, okay? So, but you have to come at least once a year. So we're trying to really support you to better support our students, better do your job. We are trying to, as I mentioned, we're trying to get our policy revised so faculty participation in extension can be recognized. That's going to take a longer time because there is a way to measure the success that we have to really work out well, can be fair. Faculty teaching buyouts. We revised the policy, should not cost that much, shouldn't cost your arms and legs to have a buyout if you have a larger research effort. Remember, we wanted to maximize your potential in whatever you do well. We also changed the policy, now you can have, the official term is extended pay. The plain language term is 13th months of pay. We were working on this, we launched this right before July 1. We were hoping to do this sooner, but at least before the start of this fiscal year, we got that in place, policy already. We got the policy in place, there was some feedback, loopholes, what if this, what if that? It turns out we thought we covered all the several loopholes to be fixed before July 1st, 2025. So that's absolutely not in place, you can use that. We worked to get our A&D done for all faculty. Quite a few were in the core, in the college, were left out. We reorganized 2 units. One challenge with the material science engineering is it's a terribly small, 6 faculty member, no undergraduate students. It's quite a struggle. Faculty feel pressured, did not get enough help. The engineering technology got some serious challenges in terms of coherence of academic program, and whether the word coherence, I will probably say also coherence of working dynamics or people. So we reorganized to create a school for fire, construction, and emergency management. We also created a new school that's materials and mechatronics and manufacturing. So that reorganization certainly, I hope, will address issue that MSC faced, address issue DET faced. Hopefully we will have 2 very successful, at least more successful schools. And we got the new leadership, Heather and also Jane in place. So thank you for your leadership. We completed the search for the school head in electrical. So we got the 2 new school head appointed: electrical computer engineering, architecture. What else? MAE, yes, Racine, how could I forget you? So we also have Mark, Chris Marzik, step forward. Mark, are you here? Okay. Did I do okay? Good, thank you. Great. Stepping forward as an interim head for civil environmental engineering, and also Terry Collins stepping forward to be the interim head of IEM. We'll be looking at the search once the semester starts. So thank you for your leadership. Research space. We move all graduate students. We complete that move to the 4th floor of engineering sauce that free up quite a few research laboratory office space. And we were really thinking, we were going from greater to greater. We're going to grow really fast. Of course, you will hear very soon. We probably will continue. We will continue to grow, but probably at a lower rate. So space-wise, we are freeing up the space. We're also looking at our space usage. Remember last year, those who came, I shared with you, our peer institutions generally are using the research space at about $400 per year per square foot. We are using that at about $200 per square foot per year. Okay, so I do not mean we are going to get to $400 per square foot per year. We're in Oklahoma, we have a lot of space. But even if we get to $300 per year per square foot, that means we can grow our research by 50% without much difficulty. So there are some efficiency of a space usage issue we're addressing, and we also move the graduate student, create more space. So that is really moving along very well. And that kind of covered the graduate student space. Those are kind of miscellaneous. I want you to be aware behind the scene, we're trying to make this more productive, more conducive environment. So every place it is a challenge, it is a bureaucracy. When you run into difficulty, run into challenges, bring to my attention. If that cannot be resolved, I will give you a reason why I'm not a God. I know you're not either. So we do what is humanly possible. Know that myself and the college team are here to support you. Okay, so whether institutional support, it's not surprising that we have succeeded. We indeed have gone from a great to greater. Capping everything there is our national standing. I understand the ranking has a lot of beauty contests, but US News ranking of the overall engineering graduate program has a 75% based on data. That is your number of a PhD student, your faculty excellence like National Academy membership, your research expenditure, your graduate student GRE scores, and so on. It's a quality matrix there, and 25% based on reputation. So whether that, from last year to this year, our college moved up 5 places. You may recall about a year and a half, a little more than a year and a half ago, when I was interviewing, probably in this room, not this room, a little bigger room, I was telling you all, we deserve to be in the top 100. And we were 111. That means we need to move up at least 11 places. I was thinking in 5 years we should be able to do that. But you worked so hard, so well. In 1 year, we moved up 5 places. So congratulations to you all. You really made it. I wanted to briefly touch on the disciplinary ranking or national standing. Look at the table on the right. So we have 2 programs, IEM, ME, that are in the top 50 percentile, top 32, top 49. We have other programs, civil, chemical, around the middle, 50%. What is really bothering me is some of our programs that should be very well recognized, particularly our aerospace engineer. This is not a criticism for you, Wasim. This is kind of a compliment. Our aerospace engineer should be really, really strong. Look at our drone program, look at our NASA sponsorship. There's no reason that we are at 80 percentile in the nation state. Our petroleum is small, and that's somewhat understandable. There are only 16 programs. Last year, I think there were 18 ranked. We were 16 last year. We're still 16 this year, but 2 other programs decided not even to participate, so we got to the bottom. The message here is not only the school head can really do a lot in getting your excellence known, getting the exposure, but you, the faculty staff, when you go out to a meeting, please show a slide about your school. And you should be proud of your school. I know there's always going to be something that upset you in your school, in your college. We don't pay you enough, we don't provide enough space, but this is your school. I'd really like you to present the success of your school. You go to a society meeting, go to a seminar. If every school can organize a slide shared by the faculty when you go out, talk about your success, and that can get you better recognized nationally, okay? That is the better part, and that is the success from great to greater, and we have succeeded. I can say with the national standing moving up by 5 places with a lot of other success, which I will show you later, I think we largely have succeeded in going from great to greater. We may be facing a little headwind. I was preparing this presentation, that was a Tuesday, or Monday, August 5th, last week. I subscribed to the ASE daily briefing, and this came in that email, and I just said, I probably should share this with you. So on that August 5th, Stanford, it was reported, Stanford plans to cut 363 jobs. University of Nebraska-Lincoln is going to slash $27.5 million in the budget. Not to scare you, we are not going to have any layoff. At least we are not planning to have any layoffs. But I want you to be aware what is happening nationally, what is happening here. So if I only give you the rosy picture and don't share with you the information of the challenges, I think I'm not doing my job. So I want to share with you in a balanced way, but I wanted to assure you we are doing pretty well. I'll tell you why that is the case. So looking back, I was talking about our success in going from great to greater. We started talking about the 6G plan. We started conversation. Just know I have not forgotten. Our team has not forgotten. We are kind of putting this planning on hold because the university went through a transition. We are going to have a university strategic planning process. So it's a better use of your time that we wait probably for a semester or a year, then we come back to talk about 6G strategic planning. But for now, if I present it in that way, we did a lot in developing and growing the academic programs. We partnered with the art and science, with the leadership of Guo Liang in ECE to launch the master degree in artificial intelligence. And once we did that, health science also joined in to participate. Now become 3 college efforts, 3 college programs. There's engineering track, of course, there's health science track, there's the science track. I wanted to mention that program because inter-college collaboration is hard. With William first approach, there's the department chair. Apparently, there were a lot of baggage from the history. The first meeting was a little bit heated. Carissa also jumped in to help, but they made it work. They went to lunch. Food always helps pacify frustrations. They made it work. And in a similar way, we have a partner with Art and Science to launch our data science program. And Google also got sort of interested, wanted to give us some money to support the AI program. A lot of good things happen. Our engineering technology management is being updated, so our program growth is going really well. You look at our enrollment growth is roughly, I think, about 13%. You look at our recruiting, we focus on the recruiting of associate professors. We try to really stop the bleeding. I look at the past several years, the data shows every year we had about 20 faculty members that left. Those include retirement, deaths, but a large number transfer or move to other places. This year, I think up to this point, it's 9. So from 20-ish to 9, I would say we have stopped the bleeding. Having 5 to 10 for college for our size, leave every year is reasonable. There are always going to be retirements. There's always going to people that may even die on the job. They just love the job so much. Or people change. There's good reason. So we worked well in that regard. We did not hire that many, but we did not lose large numbers. So this coming year, even so, with all these challenges, where we have been approved to hire at least 12 more faculty members. So we're going to continue to grow. Our research went up a little bit by about $1 million. In terms of the extension effort, I mentioned the Center of Construction and Workforce. That really kind of, that was created with the co-directorship by a faculty member, Dan Cook. And that's a good start for faculty to participate. And our national standing moved up 5. We have 6 more to go. So that's, again, kind of a recap of the momentum we have. But then let's talk about the headwind, the one I showed earlier. So at the national level, there are a lot of things that are happening. So the federal budget got cut, and one of our faculty led a team to win $10 million research. That was April and May. And only a few weeks later, that was unawarded. So several of our faculty got really disappointed. They were told that their projects were funded and then got unfunded. So there is that challenge. Industry facing the uncertainty, industries overall is also struggling. They're letting people go, therefore they are likely going to send less money to the university for research. University budget got impacted in many ways. Some of you probably haven't heard the state of Oklahoma, not Oklahoma State University, the state of Oklahoma got a budget for this year that's 8.8% less because the state revenue went down. So that impact our university operation. At OSU, college budget got cut by 5%. And that has impact to us. So if you think about 5% cut, and if you don't have any other strategy, you have to cut 5% of work, you have to cut 5% of the jobs. And fortunately, we are not cutting any. So if you heard anyone that got his or her position cut, challenge me. So we got 5% cut this year, starting July 1, 2025, but we are managing to do pretty well. So that's the headwind I'm referring to, okay? Know that there is a challenge at the national level, there's a challenge at the state level, there's a challenge at the university level. And at the university level, in case you're not aware, you should be. We went through the OSU Innovation Foundation that we have to, we spend the money that we have to unspend, and that means we need money. Many of you have heard the ANL, the name, image, lessons, and that will cost money, not from the academic fund, but university resource. So those are challenges that we face. The good news is, at least in this college, we are not, whether that 5% cut to the college, whether all those loss of federal funding, likely industry funding, we are not, at this point at least, we're not laying off anyone, we're not cutting any positions. Okay? I don't know that's worth celebrating, but in this situation, not laying off people, not cutting any positions, I think at least this is something to be happy about. So really, I was looking at this trajectory of going from great to greater to go up really fast, and we did in 1 year. We moved up 5 of the 11 places that we aimed for. But going forward, I would say we, based on the analysis, we are engineers, right? We don't just come in to have all this fancy message without data. As engineers, we look at the data. So I would say we can and we will try our very best to keep the momentum. But we also recognize we're facing a headwind. So I think we're going to continue to move up, and we will press forward through the headwind, but we may not be growing as fast as we thought or as we did in last year, okay? That's what I see in the future. So I would say, it shouldn't be surprising to you, having gone through, the past half a year also. We know there are a lot of turbulence in federal operation, particularly the budget, state, university. In January, February, we had a transition of the presidency at the university that reviewed some of the major problems. So I don't think that this headwind is that surprising, but I'm giving more concrete information. Not to scare you, but to make you aware that we are facing some challenges. But also know you do have my assurance whether this situation up to this point, we do not have any plan, and you can talk to Jean, she has a spreadsheet. We have no plan to lay off anyone. Just focus on your work. We're doing pretty well. Also, we could have done better without losing that 5% of our budget, right? But we're not laying off anyone, and just know that that message is sufficient. Okay? With that, I'm going to the Q&A session. Before going to you directly, let me touch on the question that we received from you anonymously. So whoever asks, know that there's no harm to you. But even here, just feel free to ask. It's never going to be a bad question. Our colleagues put the question into several categories. So I will try to go over the question one by one. Under the category of funding, the first question is, research funding opportunities are very limited. Could you recommend any alternative research funding sources besides NSF or DOE programs? I would probably rephrase the question a little bit beyond any conventional source. NSF, DOE, NASA, DOD, or major companies. The answer is yes, we did start thinking early on. So overall the budget is going down, research budget. However, defense research budget is going up. Recognizing that, I think it was last month, several weeks ago, I mentioned just minutes early, Chuck, Bunting, myself, and Camila, the associate dean from Art and Science, we visited the Los Alamos National Laboratory, which is one of the 2 nuclear weapon laboratories. And their research budget in the defense part went up by about $1 billion. So we are looking at those that get bigger budget, particularly defense research budget. We're trying to see how we can build partnership Ed has already started communicating with their person in the area of fire. So we're identifying our area of strengths so we can partner with them, hopefully get more funding. There's several other areas we're trying to explore. Once we define those, we bring their people here so we have more in-depth meeting with our faculty. Yes, we're exploring alternatives. We are, as engineers, we're always innovative. We look for ways. But if you have other ideas that we can support or help, bring that to you. Based on current or emerging federal action, how do you view the outlook of the 25-26 academic year? Do you express any concerns in loss or removal of funding from state or federal sources? Do you express any concern for potential loss in faculty via retention or loss of positions? Do you express any loss or decrease of student enrollment in the coming year? That's a long question. Of course, I have concerns when funding level goes down. No, I don't have too much concern in terms of faculty attrition. This should not trigger any major new attrition. We do well. We want this to be a place that's supportive. If later on we find out the funding level is substantially down, I alluded to this last year. I'm going to work with the school head, provost and provost office to take this into account in enforcing the tenure promotion policies. That is to say, if overall funding level is going down, your policy says you have to have $1 million. You know that has to be reconsidered. Okay, so I don't think that will be the case. Then retention. Student enrollment. No, our enrollment is going up slowly. We are taking steps. I should also mention the university is talking about the possibility of implementing RCM budget model. Those who are not familiar with the abbreviation, it can stand for revenue center model. It can stand for responsibility center model. The idea is you generate more revenue, you get more people, you have more bigger allocation. And we are on the losing side when that happens because our college costs more. It takes higher salary to pay engineering faculty than art and science faculty and so on. So our laboratory costs more, our research costs money. So it is a challenge. Enrollment growth would help. In anticipation of that possible RCM, our strategy is to focus on several in-demand, forward-looking professional master degree programs. Artificial intelligence, data science, engineering management, robotics, those are the programs that can attract a lot of students. That is enrollment. Whether enrollment would be better off. We don't know what precisely will happen next year. But the idea is if we could get this RCM developed well, it will become effective July 1, 2026. That's the plan. Whether that will be done, we don't know for sure. So we have started planning. We have a plan. We always plan to change our plan when situation changes. Given the current funding uncertainty, would the college allow new faculty to use their startup funds beyond allowed 3 years? I do not see too much correlation. If you have less funding, you should spend the money. You start a fund. I don't know why you wanted to. When you have less money and you put more money in the saving, it doesn't seem to make much sense. That aside, if there's a need, if the resource, if the money is from the college, with a good rationale, I will certainly entertain that. But no, a portion of our startup package is from VPR's office, and that is not decided by the college. If there's a need, I'll try to support you as much as possible. But when economic situation goes worse, I would expect you to spend the money you have to maintain your momentum. Raises, money, salary. At the last meeting, we heard the cost of living raises were coming, then never did. Can we get update on that? There are several others. Maybe I finish reading that. It's kind of along the same line. Then answer them together. During the spring, Q&A, that's me, Hunter, mentioned the possibility of pay raises. Do you have any update on employee pay raises? Inquiring whether there are any planned updates regarding salary adjustment in alignment with the current market trends. As the industry continues to evolve, many of us are curious if there will be a review or implementation of pay raises to ensure compensations remains competitive and reflect the market condition. Is there any chance of us getting a raise? Is there any talk of raises for the fine folks who make up the seat? Raises were mentioned during the fall 2025 update and then again during the spring 2025 update. Do we have update on this? Staff has not received any pay raises for a few years. Is there a plan in place for cost of living pay increases? When will we be getting a raise? Okay, let me answer this from several angles. The first part is, I don't mean to just pay you a lip service, but I want you to know, I do understand the challenge. Well, my wife does most of the shopping. I do occasionally go on shopping and we go dining, when the price tag shows. It caught my attention. So I get it. Price has been going up, even just for grocery, not anything fancy. In food, everything is really, having the price going up. And we have not been getting a salary raise. That is a challenge. And whether that, I would also take the faculty, not to put anyone down, not to offend anyone, just data. I would separate the faculty from staff into two categories. Our staff salary is indeed low, particularly you compare with the market. Maybe historically because we're in a small town, but our cost of living in this small town is not lower. And you would think, with 50,000 people, house would be cheaper, food would be cheaper. Not so. Even gasoline is not cheaper. Actually, costs get cheaper gasoline than we do. So I get it. For staff, it is the question, the argument is very valid. For faculty, I would counter that argument with the data. Of course, there are star faculty, there are disparities among faculty salary. But I look at the kind of higher level data, the average salary. When I benchmark that against peer institutions like a Big 12, in terms of national prominence of our college, we are roughly at the middle of the bottom half. In terms of average salary, we are at the middle, close to the middle of the entire Big 12 team. So that is to say, our salary is probably average salary. It's probably slightly above our national prominence in that regard, okay? I would acknowledge average salary does not necessarily reflect the reality too much. You have someone that's paid much higher, someone lower. But overall, our average salary for faculty match our market in a sense, particularly in the sense of our prominence in comparison contrast with our peers. For both cases, faculty and staff, we continue to monitor the salary and the performance. When someone is performing exceptionally well, we do take a step to give faculty staff raises. But we don't have a uniform raise. And in fact, state of Oklahoma, you have been here in London, you must have gone through the time when we had the so-called cost of living adjustment, at least under that name. Our legislators were pretty unhappy. So state of Oklahoma certainly have a culture not to at least nominally go with the cost of living. They always wanted to go with the merit. So in that sense, no, we don't have that systematic cost of living adjustment. Should we have that? It's arguable. But in Oklahoma, apparently our political support for that type of adjustment is a lot weaker than having merit increase. Now, coming back to the timeline, you are correct. I did say that, but I was not lying. You do remember something happened in around February, January. We had a change of leadership, not because of leadership, but as an indicator, we learned about our Innovation Foundation spending. Around that time, we also learned more about the NIL cost. And not too long afterwards, we learned about the budget cut. So there was a plan. When I came in, there was a plan about salary raise. And in that conversation at the Dean's Council, the term used was a merit raise. But of course, we were thinking, can we take some of the money, at least for equity and so on? The general consensus, we would do that in the college level. And then that didn't happen. So that didn't happen by July. And we said, well, maybe we can do that later fall and at least by December, January. And did not get done by December, January. Then January, we heard a major announcement. And then we learned the money we had to unspend, the money we had to unspend at the Innovation Foundation, the money we have to now figure out from various legal sources to cover the NIL, which is about $20 million, not a small amount. Then we learned about the state, 8.8% cut. So yes, there was a plan. Unfortunately, this is the case, the plan got changed for the wrong direction. So right now, whether this is a budget situation, I would say not having to face a layoff, not having to face elimination positions, not having to scale down our operations, kind of a large scale on uniformity. You tell me in your unit, in your school, if you have any pressure of uniformly cutting down your workforce, let me know. We are not doing that. Yet we are returning 5% of the budget to the university. So I think we are rational people. I get it. I think our fine folks, you work really hard for the college, and you make the college what it is. I would wish we could do that, but the budget situation simply does not allow it. Okay, I cannot promise this will get better in a year. I look at the national scene, I can do analysis. I don't see much certainty that will emerge in 6 months or so. I have to say, in the next 12 months, we should all keep our eyes open and see what happens. And then, if we have a better assessment, I will share it with you. At this point, I cannot, my assessment is, I see uncertainty, but I don't see when this is going to turn better. On the other side, I see not huge, but relatively greater certainty in our college, partly because the wonderful work you have done, our finance team have done, partly because of our support from alumni, from friends. We have a pretty good endowment, not only in the university, but in the college, and that helps us. We're working really hard. You probably heard, we're trying to get schools, colleges named, and that would also help us when another round, thanks to God, hopefully never comes again. If another round budget cut comes, we'd be better off if we have our college named, have our schools named. So we are working to cope with this situation, but once again, I'm running the risk of repeating. Know that even under this uncertainty, under this challenge, we're not laying off anyone. We're doing pretty well in that regard. Okay, I think I answered that group of questions here. There is another page underneath. Remote work. Any news on the ability to work remotely? What is the college's policy If I forgot any piece in the last page, raise your hand. You can say, not my question, but it was shown there, okay? What is the college policy on remote work, specifically for extensions? Where are we with the remote or hybrid work schedule? Overall, this is a residential college, and we're coming back to campus to work. That's the first slide. So that is by default, we are going to be working here in person. However, if your supervisor can assess the situation that your remote work, your flexible work does not negatively impact the performance, and your supervisor endorses, I generally will agree. I will ask if there's a question that's not clear to me. But in some cases, it's just not going to work. If you work at the front desk, someone has to sit there when people come in, right? The bottom line is, yes, it's allowable, it's allowed, provided it does not negatively impact your work. Okay. Retention, what are your plans to ensure that faculty and staff are retained? What is the current outlook of salary increase for the coming years, particularly in relation to inflation and faculty retention? Other institutions appear to offer consistent annual raises of at least 2% to help offset the inflation pressure. How does our university plan to remain competitive in this regard? Is there any plans to reduce the tasking of a faculty during the summer months, given that most are on 9 months contracts? Okay. We had a plan, we still have a plan for faculty retention, so we are preemptive in that regard. We realize the faculty are really performing well. We don't wait for the faculty to go out and get an offer. And we recently, for example, was seeing, and now we just work on a case. So yes, we have a mechanism in place. We are preemptive. And result of the last year shows our attrition went from 20-ish to 9. So I think we are doing okay. We'll continue to do better. Salary raise, I touched on that already. I also talked about how competitive we are. And that 2% is, you probably heard other places, indeed, several universities have been, they have a 2-3% a year for several years, but not every year. We apparently have been going through this no raise for several years. I get it. This last question, you really need to come to me. I don't necessarily understand too much what that means. I would say, philosophically, there are two pieces to it, not to put extra burden on you. One, officially, we pay our faculty 9 months from up to end of April. So May, June, July are considered the summer months. In reality, we don't really work it that way. The first week or two in May, we have our final exam commencement. Officially started at the beginning of August, you get paid, but you don't have a class until the 18th, middle August. So I don't know how literally you can take it that starting time and time. That's number one. Number two, legally, you have a 9 months contract, but you could also ask yourself during that 9 months, should the university ask you to be here every day on working day? We don't. So you do have a flexibility to be away if you choose to. And that's, to me, as a faculty member, I see that as a privilege. And as a faculty member, we run our school colleges. Our school colleges do not completely shut down in summer. If you completely shut it down in summer, you're not going to have anything to do in fall, in spring. So keep that in mind. We do have a flexible working schedule. In summer, we need to be reasonable. If you're caught back every day without extra pay, that's unreasonable. But if you need to reply a few emails to have a meeting, I would say let's not function as a lawyer to say, well, I have only fall spring contract, not summer. But this should not be abused. I get it. So if you have abuse case, bring it to my attention. That is to say, you're asked to come back to work for 2 weeks without pay, and that's wrong. But if you're asked to come back for a day, you're asked to reply an email. Occasionally I see faculty put in this auto reply, do not expect me to reply in summer, I'm off contract. It gets me a little. I think that's not really a very professional way to look at it. It may be legally correct, but we don't, we follow the law, but we also know we're professional. So there's a reasonable level. If you run into that situation that your supervisor get you to work extra weeks without a pay, bring that to my attention. We will address that. But also, please be reasonable. Know that during the 9 months of contract time, no one asks you to be here every day. And if you are away for, during the time when you don't have a class, office hour, I don't think anyone is really checking on your hours. Miscellaneous. What are you most looking forward? I think that this probably should go one by one. What are you most looking forward to for the college in the coming year? There are many things I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to working with you to keep our momentum and to really press forward through the headwind. And I'm really serious because this is a serious situation. I very much look forward to working with you as a team so we can really go through this headwind together. Afterwards, be prosperous. At least we survive through this headwind. I don't know how accurate to characterize whether it's a breeze or wind or storm. I tend to think this is just headwind, and we can do this. Next year, this time, if you're still doing well, we're still growing, and that is something that I would consider success, and that's what I look forward to the most. What is the plan to expand available academic research lab space and capacity? I touch on this. We have more research space freed up because all the graduate schools, not all, large number, 100 some, are moved to the fourth floor of engineering sauce, this building. So we have more space, but also we continuously monitoring the usage of the space. There are spaces that are sleeping. I walked by some of the laboratories. One day I walked by, there's no one, another day. So we do have some lab space. You know which space I'm referring to. So we do have this space. If we have the need for extra space, work with me and Chuck, and we're going to help. What is being done to accommodate increasing enrollment? Look at the enrollment data. Even so we increase the enrollment a little bit, we are far, far below the level of 2016, while our faculty number has been larger. And we get more space. We get more people to teach. So depending on what reference point that you're using, if you're referencing to the last 2 years, yes, there's increase. If you compare our faculty size with the enrollment, our faculty size has grown a lot faster than the enrollment if you use 2016 as a reference. So we should have capacity. And also we strategically, when we need more teaching capacity, we are hiring faculty for practice to do that more effectively, because faculty practice cover more classes also. Are there any plans for updating the Engineer North elevator? Yes. This is an ongoing saga. The facilities management has got a quote, and they are working on this, have been working on this. If we want a new elevator or get modernization, essentially a new elevator, and that's going to cost about $700,000 also. So university ruralized, there's access for disability access and so on, all these are challenges. but they also have other buildings where they're even more challenging elevator, other issues. So there's waiting lists. We wanted to move faster. We can, if we can pay. And it is about $700,000. So if, depending on how urgent we really need this, and universities understand, this is university general education building, they are responsible, but they have the finite resource, finite manpower. If you think we should spend our money to do this, we could push this faster, but that also means we take the money away from supporting the other needs. Okay, so we're looking into that, evaluating how much we should help speed up the process, how much we should wait. It is on our radar. Do we expect to continue the collaboration with the Southwest Delta University in the near future, despite the heightened U.S.-China tension? I don't know. I have been thinking and looking at that. My plan is the following. The agreement is due to be renegotiated 2026. So we have a few months. The trade negotiation between President Trump and Xi is ongoing. One day it looks brighter, another day it looks quite troublesome. So hopefully we will know that better in a few months. We still have at least a half a year before we need to look into the contract renew or contract renegotiation. If we can do that, I think this is a wonderful program that many of you put a lot of effort in. I would love to support the program. But several universities have been forced to discontinue the program. We're lucky that we have not been forced. So I don't have a clear answer in that regard. Just a wait. I'm also waiting for a few months to see how that tension will evolve. If they get a good trade deal between the two countries, two leaders, maybe this will be more feasible. Why are managers of the departments allowed to set a stricter dress code, i.e. no nice jeans for staff under them? Even faculty wear jeans and shorts. How many of you come to work on Saturday, Sunday? Some of you bump into me, yes, Saturday, Sunday. When I came Saturday, Sunday, I do came in shorts, short shorts, sport. So, yes, I understand. I dress up today out of respect to you because I'm presenting, reporting to you. When I'm reporting to you, I should dress up. I would say use common sense. Be professional. There's quite a range between professional casual. One thing we need to recognize is we are dealing with the students, and sometimes we're dealing with the parents. And so we do need to look professional. Otherwise, our students find it strange. Parents are coming and say, I thought you should be professorial or whatever. You don't look professorial. So there is that need. Just in our role, there is certain expectations from the student, from the parents. I think you would agree we should meet that expectation. We should not disappoint our students. We should not disappoint the parents. On the other hand, it's the summer, it's hot. I certainly recognize we should be more flexible. I do not know, so I'm talking from both ends, not that I wanted to wishy-washy. This is not that clear cut. What is, how short is a student tolerable? That's something you have to measure by inches. I really cannot quantify it here. So common sense is critical. We are professionals. We should dress up professionally at work. And on Saturday, Sunday, you're not supposed to be at work. You're going to shopping and so on, so it's understandable. Even if my excuse, even if some of you bump into me, I figure out I'm going out to exercise, going to walk. So be professional, dress up professionally, professional casual, whatever that is, and use your judgment. You are smart people. You know that. You have that common sense. But if this is outrageous situation, you need to bring that to me one-on-one, so I can tell if your supervisor is asking you to come in with the tuxedos. That's good, right? But if your supervisor is telling you, if you're facing students, to not have chores Monday to Friday, maybe that's reasonable. So use common sense. But I'd be happy to talk with you one-on-one. Just the question here alone doesn't give me enough information to make it clear. Okay, but again, we are reasonable people, use common sense. I think that's all the questions I have received. I'll be open to any question you may have here or questions from the other room on the west end. So if you have a question from people on the west end, Ron, come over here and ask. You can have them, oh, there's a microphone here. Feel free to ask anything. Don't worry, even if you have salary questions or if you say, something you're doing is really bad, it's hard to offend me. I have a very thick skin. So, but I'm happy to rationalize, but I'm happy to debate. But. Anyone? You're ready to run for lunch. Okay. So the shirts, pick up your shirts here, and then go to Endeavor Building. There's this high seating glass wall building. We will have a picture taken there, then we will have lunch. Thank you so much for